standing by, the Hall of Famer, Raider Hall of Famer. He joins us now. Let me start with the sabotage of the Super Bowl there with Bill Callahan against Tampa Bay. What was your reaction?
Sabotage is a strong word. Certainly, I think if it played out the way Tim and Jerry Rice have depicted it as playing out, odd would be an understatement to revamp your game plan on Friday, particularly against a team that, if you're looking at the Tampa Bay team of that time, the best way to attack that team is downhill power football, 330 across the board, 2-3 running backs, and get that done. And oddly enough, it's two wide receivers who are complaining about the ball being thrown 60 times. So there's something there. What it is, do I think he purposely? I'd be shocked if that were the case.
Wasn't it just poor coaching by Bill Callahan at the worst?
At the least, at the very least, yes. And because I was at that game and was shocked, and some of it is, of course, John Gruden knows the system, knows the quarterback, knows the calls. Adjustments have to be made. People do it all the time. Within a division, within a conference, you don't think when the Patriots and the Ravens play, adjustments are made. You don't think any time Peyton Manning over the years has been playing against someone in the division who sees him twice a year over and over again, you're making adjustments. Certainly when a coach leaves your team, and he knows all your calls, knows all the details and intricacies and checks and audibles and, scoops and, tees and, there's so many calls, Dan, that are made at the line of scrimmage, and when you make a call and an entire defense shifts, you kind of know something's wrong.
Well, John Lynch has already come out and said we knew all of their calls, we knew what they were running. So
right.
If they changed the game plan on Friday, he didn't do a good job of changing the game plan.
Well, there's two things. One, you're talking about the calls, and two, you're talking about the game plan. The calls are one issue, whether it's run or pass. But I think philosophically, I think it was a really poorly called game. I was there, and it was a disappointing game.
Well, look, I looked at it and said Tampa was a far better team than than the Raiders. And if Bill Callahan was coaching the Buccaneers, I believe the Buccaneers would have beaten the Raiders if Gruden was coaching the Raiders.
Well, but it's kind of like it's. Do you go away from the style that best fits your best opportunity to win, and versus that Tampa 2 underfront with undersized people up front, people who like to hit gaps, and Warren Sapp lined up in a wide 3. A wide 3 is the inside shoulder of the offensive tackle. So there's definitive holes in that defense if you have the plan, if you have the commitment to do it over 4 quarters, it at least gives you a better opportunity at having success.
All right, give me a yes or no here. Did Bill Callahan's coaching cost the Raiders the Super Bowl?
Obviously, it didn't help.
No, it's yes or no.
No, I'm just telling you, obviously it didn't help. At the end of the day, was Tampa a better team? Yeah, that's more than apparent. But to give them the best opportunity to be successful, I would say, I certainly would have run the ball 30-plus times.
Talking to Howie Long, Raiders Hall of Famer, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. I mentioned that I would fine Tom Brady for the slide, the aggressive slide with Ed Reed. If I'm the commissioner, that resonates around the league. $25,000, Giselle has that in her pocketbook right now.
I think first-time offenders, within the collective bargaining agreement, first-time offenders, it might be less than that. I think it's like 15 or 10.
Okay, but I would fine him. I think looking at the play, if there's a little bit of doubt, I would still fine him for it because I know he apologized to Ed Reed. Well,
yeah.
do you apologize if you didn't do anything wrong?
No, I think he clearly felt like he did something wrong. Do I think it was there was malicious intent? No, I think it was more of a defense reaction. Tom in space, Tom in space, Peyton in space is not. That's not where you want to be running for the first down. Tom.
But he's already down, Howie. He's not going to get hit. They never touch anybody.
But Dan, here's the thing, Dan. If you're sliding across, see, you're a basketball player. If you're sliding across the floor and Ed Reed is flying over your head, how are you going to react?
But if I'm Brady, I'm a quarterback. I slide as soon as you hit the turf. That's it. Play over, and he knows that.
Let me play devil's advocate.
All right.
How many times is Tom Brady running and sliding?
Probably not very often. Once or twice a game.
So there's a level of there's a level of kind of he just doesn't do it.
Okay, but let me ask you this: how many times has Brady been hit while sliding?
That I don't know, and I'm sure you see it all the time, though. Hey, listen, was he wrong to do it? For sure. Should he be fined? I would think so. We're talking, it's 6 1/2 dozen. It's 25.
But
15,
it takes away the commissioner giving him preferential treatment because he's Tom Brady, because people already think that. Why not say this? Because the defense gets nothing.
Oh no, Dan, you're preaching to the choir.
Okay.
It's not just Tom Brady; it's every quarterback. If you touch the quarterback now, and I get it, and the greatest example of that would be probably wild card weekend. Some of the quarterback play was just so bad, and part of that was quarterbacks being injured, and someone texted me during the Minnesota game and said, "Now I understand why that we protect the quarterback." Because it was unwatchable.
If I said you could invest in Flacco or Kaepernick right now for the rest of their careers,
I would probably be inclined to invest in Kaepernick. And the reason why is he's so much more versatile. And he's just it's an interesting case. And I've said this. I believe that decision, whether it was consciously or subconsciously, was made the night of last year's NFC Championship game. And I think drafting LaMichael James, when the type of runner you have in your system now is Frank Gore.
But Alex Smith played lights out.
Dan, he played lights out versus New Orleans.
Yeah.
Alex Smith is a very good quarterback in the right system, asked to do a certain type of thing. Power running game. With Alex Smith, Greg Roman had what I thought was as complex and physical a running game as there is in the league. They could do it with 2-3 tight end packages. They could do it with 6 offensive linemen, a defensive tackle in the backfield. They got to plays in a lot of different ways. And when you're playing the 49ers with Alex Smith in the lineup, you had to get your head right and wrap it around that. Don't bring the Toys R Us pads are left at home versus San Francisco. Same thing with Baltimore. But with Colin Kaepernick, you add all of those elements that he brings to it, the pistol, the read option, and that subtle play with LaMichael James where he becomes the wide man and Kaepernick becomes the inside runner. They can do any number of things with that offense with him. And here's the scary part, and I said it before the game on Sunday. Colin Kaepernick is seeing the game through, at this point, as a young quarterback, through a tight window. When that window expands, and the tight window was 80 throws to, Michael Crabtree, and Vernon Davis disappeared over a 7-game period. Okay? I said if he expands his vision, which it inevitably will with each game, with each rep, and it just happened to be on Sunday, he expands it to Vernon Davis. So now you've got Vernon Davis, you've got Crabtree, you've got
Moss.
Michael James, you've got Frank Gore, you've got Kaepernick inside, outside, his ability to extend plays, and he seems to get faster at 30 yards. When you're pulling away from fast people 30 yards downfield, it's almost like he's a 220 runner versus a 40-yard dash runner. I just think the upside with him, and I don't think you can lump all of these quarterbacks, Cam, RG3, Russell Wilson, because for one, I think the guy that's furthest along in terms of seeing the game in a broad perspective is Russell Wilson. One coordinator from that division said to me, it comes too easy for him. And that's a problem.
Are you going to be in New Orleans?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Are you going to stop by the set during the week?
Yeah, we were actually just talking about it before I got on the air.
Oh, Fritzy was lining you up?
Yeah, Fritzy's a hard working man.
If I said you could pop one of the Danettes, do you want Seton, Paulie, Fritzy, or McLovin?
I really don't. Your guys are all pretty likable guys.
No, they would like to be popped, just the feel of it.
Oh God, they don't want to be popped.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, like a fantasy camp.
No,
Yeah, Strahan did it. Strahan did it a couple of years ago. Paulie had, of course, a punctured lung because of it, but that's okay. It was good for TV.
Well, you know what? We'll think something up.
I'd like for you to pop one of them.
You know what I can do? I'll hump one of them.
Hump?
Be like a hump move.
Oh, wait, Fritzy.
Hey, you guys, get your heads out of the gutter. My God.
Wait, they're the Danettes. Fritzy's talked about that before, so... Okay, well, we'll be surprised then with the hump move in New Orleans.
Yeah, the hump move is the only good body part I have left is my right arm.
Okay.
And I'm heavy-handed.
Okay. So the hump move.
Yeah, just kind of give you a little taste of what pass protection and pass rush.
Now, do we give you beads for the hump move? I just want to make sure.
You just do a pass set, put your hands up like you're pass protecting, and go airborne.
We look forward to the hump move. Thanks, Howie.
All right, partner.
All right, Howie Long, Hall of Famer. I don't think you got the beads part of this.